And here's a story we've been tracking. It's being called the most intense hostility in years, the heaviest offensive since the 2014 Gaza war. Thousands of rockets have been exchanged between Israel and Gaza in the last 48 hours. At least 49 people have died. Among them are 13 children and a 32-year-old Indian woman. Buildings are shaking in Gaza. In Israel, there are sirens blaring. The skies are on fire and the cry of the conflict is being heard as far as India. How did it all start? How did it escalate? Are we staring at another war? We'll discuss all of this in the next 5 minutes. Let's begin by taking a look at what happened in the last 24 hours. It was the night of the heaviest firing since 2014. The Israeli army said 1,050 rockets were fired from Gaza, 1050. At least 850 of them landed in Israeli cities, including Tel Aviv, Ashkelon, Modi'in, and Beersheba. Many rockets were intercepted by Israel's Iron Dome system. It stunned the world with images of the air raids. And before we proceed, I want to quickly show you how Israel's Iron Dome works.
Iron Dome is an Israeli anti-missile defense system designed to destroy short-range rockets. Capable of intercepting missiles fired from between 4 and 70 kilometers, it's designed to perform in all weather conditions. The first Iron Dome battery was installed in March 2011 near the southern Israeli city of Beersheba, some 40 kilometers from the Gaza Strip. Several others have been deployed since then. Military experts say 13 systems are required to defend all of Israel. Enemy artillery fired from within a 70-kilometer radius is detected by the defense system's mobile tracking radar. The missile type is identified, its path is monitored, and the data sent to a weapon management and control unit which calculates the likely point of impact. If a missile is heading towards populated or built-up areas, the system will intercept it. Incoming targets are shot down in the air by one of the system's 3 missile launchers, each of which contains 20 missiles.
Last night, the system, Israel's Iron Dome, was overwhelmed. It missed many raining rockets. One of the rockets hit an energy pipeline, others hit civilian houses. 5 people died in Tel Aviv, Ashkelon, and Lod. Among them was an Indian national, 32-year-old Soumya Santosh. A rocket fell on Soumya's Ashkelon residence when she was on a video call with her husband. Soumya was from the Indian state of Kerala. She'd been working as a caregiver in Israel. She has a 9-year-old son who lives with his father in Kerala in India. Israel's ambassador to India, Ron Malka, compared the young boy's loss to that of 2-year-old Moses, who lost his parents during the 2008 Mumbai terror attacks. Efforts are being made to ensure that Soumya's mortal remains are brought back to India as soon as possible. The 32-year-old has become the face of this crisis. There is a call for justice. But who do you punish? Because what you've heard so far was just one side of the story. Let's turn to Gaza. The streets in the Gaza city are filled with rubble. Israeli airstrikes have brought down 2 tower blocks. 3 civilians, including a woman, were killed when their car was hit by an Israeli airstrike.
What should I say? This is a crime. They were civilians, a woman, her children, a barber and a shop owner. These are the people who were at the scene. They didn't hit a militant or an official. We are civilians sleeping at our homes.
At least 35 people have died in Gaza in the last 24 hours. More than 200 others have been injured. Anger over these raids has spread to parts of Israel, especially in towns with mixed Jewish-Arab population, like Lod, where Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has declared a state of emergency. Since the year 2007, Israel and Hamas have fought 3 wars. There have been several escalations, but an escalation this quick has never been seen. From the raids of Al-Aqsa to a night of more than 1,000 rocket launches, how did things build up so quickly? Experts say this is Hamas's direct response to the Israeli raids on the Al-Aqsa mosque compound, which is Islam's 3rd holiest site. But look at images from inside the mosque and you would wonder who is defiling it. It's important to understand the politics of this conflict. For Hamas, it is an opportunity to strengthen its claims to the leadership of the Palestinian movement. For Prime Minister Netanyahu, it is an excuse to cling on to power. Opposition parties in Israel are mulling a coalition to topple Netanyahu. A war gives the Prime Minister a way to divert the situation at home. He has vowed to expand the offensive.
We are at the height of a campaign. Since yesterday, the IDF executed hundreds of attacks on Hamas and Islamic Jihad in Gaza. We targeted commanders. We hit many of their quality targets. At the conclusion of a situational assessment, it was decided that both the might of the attacks and the frequency of the attacks will be increased. Hamas will be getting blows it didn't expect.
So will Netanyahu go to war with Hamas? It's too early to tell, but Israel definitely is beefing up forces near the Gaza border. Armored vehicles and tanks are being deployed. From the United Nations and the United States, calls for de-escalation are coming in from across the globe. There are also countries that have picked their side, just in case the 2 factions go to war. But this is not what we need right now. Not in the middle of a pandemic. Not any time, for that matter. Our world cannot afford another war. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.